Good day and welcome to you all. Matthew here with the Nations Cup. We are round 24. I'm going to say it's round 24 now. It's probably around 23 actually. We're at Le Mans, Group 1, and I picked the Jag. In practice I was having a lot of fun with the Group C cars, and so I ended up on the Jag somehow. I don't know how, but it just felt really good. And I felt like I had some decent pace with it. And I came home tonight, on the night of the FIA, to get back on and get a bit of practice in before the races. And I was just nowhere. I was running 23s, 3 minute 23 times. And that was 2 or 3 seconds, it was really 3 seconds off the pace of the sharp end of the grid, and more than a second, I mean about 2 seconds slower than what the car would run. And I knew the Jaguar was slower than most of the other cars, but I felt, it has a pace down the straights, get through the first sector, get ahead of a few cars down the straights, and yes, it does suffer a bit in the last 2 sectors with the Porsche curves by comparison to the other cars out there. But it doesn't matter. If you're ahead of the other cars, they have to wait for you. So if they're a slower car, they can't outrun you down the straights. Then you're going to pull away down the straights, and they may catch you in the Porsche curves, but they're not going to be able to get around you, or they're highly unlikely to get around you. And I love the Group C cars. I think they're fantastic machines, and they're a lot of fun to drive, and just the way they shake down Mulsanne straight when they pick up speed so quick, they're just a lot of fun. Really, really cool experience. But yeah, I ended up qualifying 10th. I got passed through the first chicane actually by, I believe it's John in the Alpine behind. He just got a really good run initially through that chicane, and he got past me in the middle of it, which was really impressive, so really nicely done. I got back past him pretty quick, and I latched onto the back of Nick, and I tried going past him. Actually, I do go past him up here, don't I? That I do. Hangs around the outside, we go side by side through here, and then he backs off for the left-hander. Really good driving by Nick. I thought he might have gone side by side a bit further. I did have some goals. My qualifying time was not the greatest, and I certainly felt I had a lot more pace, and I thought I could get around about 5th or 6th. There were good points for the top 3, so ideally top 3 was the goal, and that was more or less relying on other drivers making mistakes and picking up penalties and falling back to me. My biggest issue with my strategy was the field spread. The way the rolling starts work at Le Mans, you have quite a spread of cars. Like immediately I was 9 seconds behind the leader. I pick up a silly penalty there, which frustrated me. So I started, immediately when they say go, you come out of that chicane, you have a look at how far behind you are, and immediately I was 9 seconds behind, and the field spreads, I was 10th or 11th. That's basically a second between each car. Even though the car's got so much more pace than everything else down the straight, you're not going to make up that time. So my theory just flew out the window straight away. Picking up a half-second penalty doesn't help, but the half-second penalty doesn't hurt too much in the Group C, because you'll see it disappears very quick. Done. And you get back up to speed. I don't even think the Alpine, he gets closer obviously. He was just over a second behind beforehand. But the Group C cars pick up that much speed, not really an issue. Beautiful livery too. I didn't do the livery. I went on the through the Discovery option and found this TWR livery. Some really nice liveries for this car. So I should get bonus points, eh? for a cool livery. Just a bit further on that lap, I was trying to track down Ranger, and he just makes a bit of a mistake. I guess he flicked it too far to the right for the left-hander, gets in the grass and spins out. So that gives me 9th place now, with John and I believe Nick just behind in hot pursuit still. Jumping forward to the final lap now. Not a heck of a lot happened. Laps 3, 4. It was just more about trying to catch these two up front. Holland, who qualified second, was falling back with penalties and incidents, and Blitz, can't quite remember where he started. I think he started around 7th. He was holding good station, but I felt I had a bit more pace than him, so I was trying to chase him down as hard as I could. And this was really coming up my last opportunities to do this, because I knew the car had no pace through Porsche curves, and that was where the Alpine was a lot better. So catching him as fast as this car would allow, but not quite. They'd both had a penalty this lap already, and Holland had picked up his second one at some point as well through the chicanes. So I was really hoping to gain a position or two, but just missing these apexes really hurt. I guess I had underestimated my tyre wear for the final lap a bit, and I was just being too aggressive and probably a bit too excited trying to get these last positions. But Blitz goes in side by side with Holland, and unfortunately ends up going off with a bit of a tussle. I close up quickly on Holland, but his car's got a lot more speed than mine through here, and you just see him just rocket away. Jumping on board with Blitz for a moment, just to see this incident from his perspective. Catches Holland after he took his penalty, goes up the right hand side. I think Holland moves over to the left here, then Holland moves back across the track and actually just gives him no room at all, forcing Chicken onto the his old name used to be Speedy Chicken, I'm used to calling him that. Forcing Blitz onto the grass. That was pretty bad actually. Like Speedy had earned that position, Speedy, there he goes again. Blitz had earned that position, I think, quite fairly. He's definitely up there. Yeah, he's moved over. Don't agree with that one, Holland. But Holland actually gets away with that one without a penalty. I don't know how, to be honest, because I thought that one deserved a penalty. But he saved that, gets away without a penalty, and retains 6th place. So that was it for the race. I finished 7th after the late incident between Holland and Blitz. Bit of a struggle for me. It was mostly down to my car choice. Early in the week, as I said, practice times looked good, but I guess the practice rooms I was in were a little bit misleading, gave me a bit more confidence than I probably should have had. Did enjoy driving the car. Anytime I get to pull the Jaguar out, it's a lot of fun. I did not expect it to go so well. You know, I did try all the Group C cars, and I found the Jaguar suited my driving style, and I did like the way it handled around the track. So the new physics update has helped with this car a bit, because it never used to be really competitive. Still, obviously not quite. And I think that was a bit me as well. I just wasn't quite getting that last chicane, and running 3-minute 23s where earlier in the week I was doing 3:21s, which would have bumped me up a bit more. But hey, it doesn't matter what you do in practice, you've really got to do it on the night, and you live and you learn. So I've got a bit to work on and a bit to take away. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, what are we doing? Group 4 at Suzuka in a couple weeks, so a couple week break, but looking forward to that still. Until then, bye bye.